All right, I think we're live. If you are in the live chat, please let me know if you can hear and see everything okay. Today we're going to be playing a Simul on ChessGoals, and currently we have 7 players signed up, and we have 9 players registered, so we're still waiting on 2. It looks like Arga we're waiting on, and Lasker Emmanuel. Birdcell says my head is too large on YouTube. That might always just be the case. Okay, I'm making it smaller. Thanks, Mateo. If you want to listen, you can. It's up to you. I don't mind if you're listening while we play. Arga, I don't see you signed up yet for the Simul, though. Let me give you the link. All right, Arga, I see you. So we're up to 8 players. The only person we don't have is Lasker Emmanuel. So Lasker, we'll give you a couple minutes, and then we'll get started. This will be good. So the first Simul, we had 10 players, and I think I had 1 draw and 1 loss. Simul number 2, I believe we had, I want to say 13 players, and it was 5 losses. Thanks, Ariel. I see you in the chat on YouTube as well. So if we can, I'd like to get 2 more players. Otherwise, we could just start with 8. All right, I'm ready. I got my water. Got Memphis sleeping in the background. Where's was saying in the chat, Matt plays strong. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Birdcell saying don't go easy on him. Yeah, I remember last time you guys were kind of strategizing against me, trying to run my clock down. Oh, so one new thing I'm doing for this Simul, guys, this could be kind of cool to see at the end. I'm wearing a watch that will track my heart rate. And after the match, I'm going to see how high my heart rate got during the Simul. So according to this thing, my resting heart rate was 58 when I first put it on. It's currently 73. We'll kind of see how high it gets up to. I'm very curious to see, if it's a stressful situation, how high will the heart rate be? All right, so I still don't see Lasker Emmanuel on. You guys might have, you might have to play with just 8 players. Yeah, I think we'll get started now. So good luck, everyone. Feel free to type in the chat on YouTube or the chat on lichess. I'll try to read them while I'm playing too, if I have time. All right, good luck. Let's start the games. Just resize this board slightly. There we go. Kill that ChessGoals logo. Alright, RCT fan. Let's go E4. Arga. Let's go Scandi. Barnow. We did D4 last time. Let's go Knight F3. Birdsell. I already played D4. Alright, Birdsell. I'm going to classical D5. Mateo E4. Let's... Oh, should we do the Caro repertoire? Let's do the Caro. Wiersbe E4. Let's go Sicilian. Yeah, let's go Sicilian. 50 Cent. I'm going to go E4. Sideshow Bob. What should I do against Sideshow Bob? Let's go English. C4. Alright, 50 Cent. It's looking like the perk defense. Oh no. RCT fan with the Caro con. I don't even want to play this. I don't want to play the Caro. Wiersbe with the quick bishop C4. We'll block that. Oh, we have a Dutch from Barnow. Okay. Birdsell with the Queen's Gambit. Arga is taking in the Scandi. Take back with the Queen. And Mateo is doing what looks like the two knights variation. Alright, we see D6 from Sideshow Bob. I'll go D4. Alright, Caro Con, what should I play? I'm going to go with the advance. 50 Cent's looking like a perk. Wiersbe is playing a Sicilian with the bishop on C4. Barnow, I'm going to go with G3, kingside Fianchetto. And Birdsell, we're kind of in a classic Slav. Alright, here we go. So now how do I want to play this? Advanced variation was C5. How do I want to play this? What's the best line? Let's take. Alright, 50 Cent. I'm going to develop classically. Against Birdsell, I'm going to go with kind of the mainline Slav defense. Oh, Linda saying we did 1 E3 last time. Is that right? I thought I played the London. I thought I played the London and then lost. Alright, G6, Sideshow Bob. So you're going for sort of a King's Indian. I'm going to try the D4 repertoire against you, Bob. Here we see Knight C6. I'm going to go with Knight F3. Alright, Mateo, I'm going with the Tartakower looking variation. Let's see. I think I can get away with pinning this knight. I don't know my Scandinavian theory. Okay, bishop F5. All right, Bob, you're going against the classical D4 repertoire. I got to remember my theory here. Bob is going right at that repertoire. Oh yeah, Linda's saying I did play the London last time. But then I blundered a piece, and you held on really well, Linda. I was not able to fight back. Okay, so Barnell's playing this variation of the Dutch where she's playing for E5. Alright, I'm going to try something a little bit funky. We'll see how this goes. In the classical D4 repertoire, we actually recommend playing the knight on H3 in almost all the lines against the Dutch, so I'm kind of out of that system because I started with knight F3. Alright, this is a good move. Pinning my knight. Oh, that's right. Bob likes to play this what is it called? The lion defense. So I think I'm going to go with kind of my standard plan. Let's start with g4. Keep it interesting. All right, Arga's kicking this bishop. I'll retreat. Where's Buzz playing bishop back to h4? What do I want to do here? How aggressively do I want to play this? How aggressively do I want to play this? Let's try it. Let's go crazy. g5. I just want to get castled in that game. c6 by 50 Cent. All right, we're going kind of with a classical looking system. I'm going to play h3 to prevent bishop to g4. I don't see anything in the chat, Mateo. In the Simul chat, I don't see anything. Mateo banned from lichess. Does that mean I get the win in our game? Or does the game continue? That's too funny. All right, RCT fan, I like your position. I think what you did worked well. I'm afraid of the Caro. 50 Cent, I'm still just trying to develop with kind of a classical style. All right, Arga's playing very aggressive against me. I don't like this. Let's try to undermine those pawns a little bit. Weir's but also going aggressive. I might be in some trouble in that position. All right, against Bob, I'm trying to gain a little space. Here I have to be careful. This is, so I'm on RCT fan. We're even material, but my c5 pawn is about to drop. I think I need to open things up. Yeah, let's try this. All right, Barnell, queen e8. Still planning on e5, it looks like. I guess I'm ready for e5 at this point, so let's try c4. Okay, Arga's going after this bishop. I don't want to allow those doubled pawns, though. So let's bring the queen up. Knight f3, good move. How do I get that bishop out of here? Let's start with bishop b7. Then maybe next I can get that bishop out. All right, Bob is castling. I'm going to try to stick to kind of the classical d4 repertoire there. Mateo is kind of transposed into our main lines, Tartakower, from the Caro repertoire. All right, here we see a d4 by Arga defending this knight. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. My queen could be kicked soon. I have to be careful here. How do I want to develop? I don't know. Arga has me on the ropes. I'm not liking this position. I'm really not sure what to do. Okay, let's try this. Oh, I'm not really in love with it. Okay, I'm gonna try to play solid there, but I don't like that position very much. Let's offer some trades to Birdsell. All right, Barnell's going for the e5 break. Makes sense. Knight f6 by RCT fan. All right, let's see. Knight c3 takes c5. Takes, knight takes. Rook d1. So I am pressuring this real quick in the center. Could start with rook d1. Or do I pin the knight? Oh, pinning the knight looks kind of nice. Let's try this. Pin the knight or rook d1? Rook d1, bishop takes c5, pawn takes pawn. Let's try rook d1. It seems faster. All right, 50 Cent is playing d5. I did not expect this. I'm going to push past. Sideshow Bob going after my e4 pawn. So I have knight g3 to defend. Mateo is pushing h3. Okay. We'll drop the bishop back. Birdsell castled. Alright, I gotta go for this bishop pair. Barnell with e5. Okay, do I play e4 or do I take this pawn? I think I take and then play e4. I'm going to try to attack kingside over there. Alright, we see c4 by Mateo. Go with rook e8. So what I'd really like to play there is c5. I'm going to try to get castled. And then maybe go for that. Alright, Wiersbe castles. So I do have this opportunity to kick this bishop out now. Or do I ignore it? I could just ignore that guy. Linda is saying she's a one-trick pony for going for e5. No, it makes sense. That's the normal plan in that position. Okay, how do I get this bishop out of d6? I think I do want to play either knight c8 or maybe knight g6. Let's try this. Let's try knight g6. I'm going to see if I can ignore that bishop for a while. Alright, Bob is playing a5. That makes sense. RCT fan taking on c5. So I'm down a pawn currently. But I like the play after taking here. C takes D. Arga's playing very solid, bishop to E3. But now this is what I wanted to try to free my bishop on G6. Let's see what he does. Okay, Barnell gets the pawn on E5 like she wanted. Pawn to E4. Take, knight take. Queen takes. Yeah, I think I have to play it now. RCT fan, knight takes D5. Alright, so this knight is pinned to the queen. Position feels pretty equal though. Alright, let's try knight C3. B6 by Sideshow Bob. Okay, I'm doing a heart rate check. Heart rate is 63. Doesn't even seem right. I think the heart rate's maybe I'm dying. Why is it going down? Okay, B6. Bishop to, let's see, do I want a queenside castle here? I think what I want to do is get the H-pawn moving up the board. Okay, knight to E5 by Birdsell. I feel like he's looking at G4. I think I'm okay with that. If you want to play G4 Birdsell, go ahead. Knight takes D7 by Arga. I'll take back with queen. So now I don't have to worry about knight takes G6, which is nice. RCT fan castles. And Mateo is playing aggressive. Pawn to C5, kicking the bishop. So I'm going to tuck him away on C7. Mateo straight chillin'. Knight to E2 by Birdsell. Knight to E2. Extra defender on D4, I guess. I think this is the critical break, so I'm going to go for it now. Well, I do also have queen B6. Queen B6, and then I could put the rook on D8. Let's try that. Queen B6. With the rook coming to D8. Alright, how do I want to play this? Probably, I think I'm okay on the back rank if I take. Because queen takes rook, queen takes back, rook D8, queen F3 defends. Yeah, it's still a pretty good position for RCT fan though. Let's offer the endgame. Alright, bishop H3 by Arga. I'm going to take. I don't like that queen being attacked. Barn Owl pawn to F4. Pawn to F4. I don't think I want to take that because then I have ugly pawns. I have the strategic idea in mind here. Pawn to C5. Pawn to C5, and then I've got ideas like queen C4 check. Maybe my knight can come into D6. There is pawn to b6 in reply, but then I could always probably take. Yeah, let's try this. This just feels too correct in terms of strategic play. Pawn to c5. Alright, 50 Cent, good move. Pawn to c5 in this game. Undermining my center. Alright, I'm going to go for the attack. Where's the rook to e1? So last move I did knight g6. But I still have a bit of an issue with that bishop on d6. I don't even know why I went this route. How was I going to deal with that? Alright, let's go aggressive here. Bishop to b7 by Sideshow Bob. Alright, Bob, here comes the attack. h4, harry the h-pawn. Okay, Argo plays bishop takes g4 on my queen. I just want to swap those off if I can. Bishop f5. Queen c2 by Matteo. Queen c2. Let's reroute this pony. Knight d7. We're in an endgame with RCT fan. F takes g3. Yeah, so I have to watch this hole on e3. Let's take back with... Oh, I'd really like to take with f-pawn though, if I can make that work. Take with f, knight g4. I could always defend e3. Then there's bishop h6. I think I'm okay with this. I have a plan. Okay, knight to d2. G-pawn's under fire. Let's push the h-pawn. So in Arga's game, we're trading bishops. Knight to c6 by 50 Cent. Alright, so how do I continue this attack? Yeah, Birdcell's saying we need to distract him with more trash talk. You're right. You're right, Birdcell, 100%. Okay, b3 by Birdcell. b3. Okay, it kind of blocks in your a2 bishop, but it does defend the pawn. I want one of the rooks on d8, I'm just not sure which one. Let's try rook f to d8. Pawn to c6 by Bob. Alright, so he's countering my flank attack with the center move. I'm looking at g5 or h5 here. g5 kicks the knight back and I could follow it up with h5. Or do I play h5 immediately? I kind of like h5 immediately here. RCT fan, just hoping that I take that bishop on c5, looking at the back rank. Mate, I'm on to you. I'm not falling for that. So I think here I need to either play king f1 or move the bishop. Well, this bishop really needs to get developed. King f1 also looks pretty good. I like king f1 a lot because it guards this e2 square. So the rook can't come into e2. Arga is saying, I'm in awe with how he's playing 8 games with commentary. And trying to stream is tough. Yeah, for sure. I'm not a very talkative person either. Weirs was doing his part. Barnell is saying, did commentary once on a Twitch channel. It's so hard to keep talking. Birdsell is eating a bunch of taffy before the game. Birdsell, that's just random. I know you're distracting me. I'm on to you. Rook d1. Arga, so I'm going to try to play this. Oh, you're going queenside. Castling queenside. Okay. Let me try to get the pieces developed. Barnell, that's what I was thinking you'd do. Knight g4. Okay, so this is my idea. Rook e1. Bishop to b1 by Birdsell. Oh, it's sneaky. Very sneaky. I like the bishop pair, though. I don't want to give up the bishop pair so easily. All right, I'll take. And Bob is trading in the center. Oh, I do have the chance to play an in-between move here. Pawn to h6. Pawn to h6 is very tempting. Make my webcam a little smaller so the clock shows. Okay, pawn to h6. Do I want to play this? Force in the bishop back to h8. I kind of want to just take d5 and see what Bob does, but I think this move should be played though. Pawn to h6. Alright, bishop d3 by Matteo, hitting h7. Let's defend that. Birdsell takes back on b1. I'll offer the pawn trade. Queenside Castle by Arga. I don't know where I want my king. Let's go e6 for now. Bishop h6. Yeah, good move, Barnell. Good move. So this was my plan, and I think I'm holding tactically, but I'm a little bit concerned. I wanted knight f1 to defend e3. Oh, here we go, Wierspa. Knight to d5. Knight to d5, huh? Knight to d5. Can I survive this? Pawn takes knight. Pawn takes back check. Knight block. I do have it defended by the g6 knight. If bishop takes, then knight takes, and there's pawn to d6. Or I could start knight here, threatening pawn takes knight. There's also knight c7 check. This could be a problem. Okay, I could take knight here. Let's try this. It's holding temporarily, but the position looks very shaky. F6 by 50 cent. I'm going to take. Bishop to e3 by Matteo. Alright, I'll connect the rooks. Yeah, this was coming for sure. I still want to look at this line. Take, push. I think I gotta do this. Queen e7 by Barnow. Hitting the c5 pawn twice. I do have time to kick. This is what I wanted to do, get that knight out of there. Because queen takes c5 check, I can still take. Knight takes c5, I can take this knight. Alright, bishop g5 by Arga. Let's go after this knight. Okay, it's not my move on any game. Heart rate check. 63. I think it's broken. 62. We had a high of 72, which I think was before the games even started. Rook takes f6. Okay, so what I wanted to do here was try to take advantage of this pawn structure. Pawn on e7, pawn on d5, pawn on c5. How can I take advantage of this? D takes c, knight takes c5. Doesn't look that great. Knight g5 looks interesting. I think my worst piece is this guy. Okay, so I'm going to start with bishop b5, trying to get rid of my worst piece. Knight back to f6 by Barnow. Let's go b4. Wiersbe c3, trying to kick this knight out. What I need to do is get rid of this bishop. Yeah, I think Wiersbe, you have me probably in this game. I don't feel very comfortable there. Rook to c8 by Sideshow Bob. Now we see knight to h4 by Matteo. Well, I think in this position we have the famous Bishop takes h3, Jesse bus attack. And Jesse would be very sad if I didn't go for this. Bishop takes h3. We gotta try it. Wiersbe has the secret sauce in Simuls, apparently. Yeah, 100%. Wiersbe informed me prior to this Simul that he recently beat a Grandmaster and a National Master in his 2 previous Simuls. So really, I'm a huge underdog in that game. Knight back to f3 by Birdsell. So Birdsell's probably distracting himself a little bit with the chat. So I'm feeling good. He might make a mistake. I'm going to sit on this center for a bit. Rook c8. Alright, Barnell is building a bit of a fan base here. I see Free Tricky Box and Smiling Oyster both watching the game. Pawn to a5 by Barnell. Trying to undermine these pawns on the queen side. I do have queen c4 check. Or knight e3 to try to get my knight back out, but there's a takes b. I'm going to try a3 and just hold that side of the board. Okay, bishop takes f6. Take with queen. Knight e4 by Wiersbe, but I did not even consider this move. This is not good. This is not good at all. How do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? Knight to e4. Hitting my queen. Eyeing the d6 square, which is a huge fork. I still have issues with d4 coming. Let's bring the queen out. Queen h4. Alright, RCT fan is still trying to checkmate me. He really wants that checkmate. Let's go bishop e3. Birdsell saying any victory in this Simul is a win for him. Alright, Birdsell. Birdsell is like the team captain, I guess. Queen to d3. C takes d, knight takes back. C takes d, knight takes back. Bishop c5. It's a little bit shaky with the knight being pinned to the queen. Let's try it. Knight back to e8 by Bob. So this is a strange position. I've seen this in some of the theory that this is kind of a strategic way to attack in these lines to play h6 and g5. But at this point, it gets a little bit funky in terms of like how do you continue the attack. I'm kind of on my own here. I don't really know the best way to continue this attack. Let's start with this. But I need to try to maneuver some pieces around there to see what I can get. Oh, bishop on b7 is dropping. So I'm going to take here, knight check, bishop on b7 drops. All right, Wiersbe. Nice job, nice job. Rook f to c1. Bird cell. Not even going for the pawn. Not even going for the pawn. Yeah, I mean, you're going to pick it up later, I guess. You're going to pick it up later. All right. Knight d5. Oh, Matteo, that's not fun. That's not fun. He's just giving me the pawn. He's not giving me the checkmate attack. All right, I'll take. Rook e8. Okay, 3 fans now in the barn owl game. Rook e8. I think it's time to relocate this guy. Queen check doesn't really help me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring this rook into the game. Rook d1. b6 by RCT fan. Okay, I think in that position, rook to c8 looked pretty strong. Coming down to c2. b6 with the idea of guarding this pawn, but okay. I guess that makes sense. Guard the a7 pawn. But now I do feel like I have a little bit of activity. I can push for the initiative here. Let's try a3. That bishop might have to go back to f8. Queen c7. Queen c7 by 50 cent. Okay, now I'm going to try to win this pawn on d5 by taking here first. I think this is working okay. Knight d5. That's so creative. That's so creative. So if I take with c, there's queen b5 check, winning my bishop back, and I can't take with e. Let's counter that move with a... Let's counter that move with a check. Or wait, do I actually... Maybe I'm okay with this line. Take, check, king here, takes bishop. I do get a move there. I'm not really a big fan of it. Alright, I'm going for this check. Rook takes c8 by bird cell. Okay, I do have to watch the clock because all the games are still going. I'm going to try to play a little bit faster. Queen trade offer. I think I'd be okay with the queen trade. Okay, Bob is moving that rook. How do I get my attack going? Oh, you know what I think I'm supposed to do here? I think I'm supposed to play this slowly. Let's start with this. Queen d2. Maybe I'll queenside castle. Alright, Arga's bringing this knight back to e3. Very solid. Let's queenside castle. Okay, Birdsell is allowing knight takes f4. I'm looking for tactics after knight takes f4. I think I should probably take heart rate check. Okay, there's a distraction. Birdsell, I think it's broken. Can you guys see it? No, you can't see this. 63. I think it's broken. 67. Because usually if I'm sitting and playing chess, I would assume it's like 80, 90. So bishop back to f8, RCT fan. Can I quickly do something on the 7th rank? Okay, let's start with doubling on the d file. Linda is saying, I have a couple friends who just decided to start watching, and Ronaldo fan is saying, that's what I want to see from you. What are you talking about, Ronaldo? What do you want to see? Knight takes c5. I think knight takes d5. King to b1. Okay, getting out of the pin. I'm trying to go after that h-pawn. Okay, good move by Bob. Very nice move. Bishop a6, creating this counterattack. Knight d3 check idea. I did not see that coming. I kind of want to just get rid of that threat completely. Okay, here I have to take back. Queen to e3. Oh, live game commentary. Yeah, thank you, Ronaldo fan. So queen to e3. We're up one pawn in this game. I do have the rook on the open file. Oh, I really want this tactic, but the queen doesn't have to take on d4. That's the problem. All right, knight back to d5. Pawn to g3 by Wiersbe. Yeah, I had a little trap for you there, Wiersbe. Queen takes h2 check was my threat, which you weren't going to fall for. So now do I play queen h3? She kind of gets trapped there. d4 is still coming. Let's bring the queen back this way. I might be able to survive that position, actually. It doesn't look fun, but I do have the extra 2 points. All right, b6 by Barnhow. This c pawn is loose. c6 is loose. I could take b6, knight takes back, takes c6, but there is queen takes b4 in between move. Or I could allow Barnhow to capture on c5 and play rook d6 here. That's kind of tempting. Rook d6. Knight e3 is also a move. think I gotta go for this. I kind of like that position. Here I could take with knight or rook. Rook makes more sense because I could double them. Alright, so here's the idea. I want to keep the second rank guarded while getting my rooks active. So I see this back rank is a bit open. Rook to d8 would be one idea. Rook to d7 is also an idea here. Or I could first start to bring my king up. Yeah, I think what I want in this position is one set of rooks to trade off the board and then my remaining rook to be more active than RCT fans. That's my idea. Okay, Argus setting a trap for me here. I think he's thinking if I take here, but there is this move. So rook takes d4, c3 right away. I could always take d1. I think I have to go for it. Hopefully there's no tactical shots. Oh, thanks, Ronaldo fan. It's a really nice compliment. And Ariel, I see you there too. So queen to b4. Yeah, that's what I thought you might play. Okay, so now if I take on c6, I do get this tempi on the rook in the corner. And there's some tactics here because my queen eyes that. Yeah, let's take here. I'm expecting rook b8. All right, Bob took on e2. I'm not really sure still how I want to play this position. I do like this imbalance between the two bishops. And I might be kind of thinking play that on the queen side. Use that activity. Yeah, Mateo's going to take me down in that endgame. Queen to d2, queen to d2, queen to d2. All right, so now what I want to do is gain more control of the c file, improve the position of my pieces. So I think this move makes sense. Bishop c3, kind of pressuring the center a bit. Bishop c5 also looks pretty good. But I like the bishop on c3, on f6, I mean, not c3. Okay, knight to b4 by 50 Cent. Hits my queen, hits the pawn on c2, hits the pawn on a2. This pawn, though, I could always trap with this. So I'm going to bring the queen back, hitting the knight on b4, and if a2 is captured, I'm going to play pawn up. Weir'sville with d4. Yep, I was thinking this was probably the strongest move. But now I could castle. I finally have time to castle. So let's see, I could take here, pawn takes back, castle, take here, queen takes. I don't see any crazy knight moves. There is knight c5 hitting that bishop in the end. So what I'm trying to figure out is if I can get away with castling, pawn takes, knight takes. I do have knight f3 check. or castle, pawn takes, queen takes, but then there's moves like knight takes c5. Or I could take, rook c8. That's probably the most active way to play it. Or take, queen b4, hitting this bishop. Then there's knight check. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take back castle. Alright, here he goes. Knight g2, I'm guessing. So I have a 4 versus 2 advantage over here, but these pawns are doubled. That's where I need to try to make something happen. Okay, I do notice this big weakness, though. I can very quickly go knight here, stack the rooks, and there might be some tactical issues coming. Queen d7 by Bob. Defending. Very nice. Let's get the king to safety. I say safety, I see the b-pawn running at me, but I kind of want to play that for the endgame. Rook to a2. I didn't see this move coming. I kind of want to push. It feels like there's a tactic here. But I have to watch this. So bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes here. I could start with this. Queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes here. Okay, I want to start with this because based on the time, I think this is kind of the best chance. I want to avoid tactical shots against my king there. Pawn to c takes d4, yep. So now what I wanted to do was castle. Rook to c1 by Birdsell. Trying to back rank checkmate me. Trying to back rank checkmate me. That's a good move, Birdsell. It's a very good move. That's a very good move. Alright, I'll take, and then I'll have to try to remember not to get back rank mated. Alright, here I'm going to take, and if this, I'm going back here. But maybe rook d1 is coming. Okay, I'm tripling on that pawn. Yeah, 8 players playing. No games have been finished yet, Ronaldo fan. D takes E. Oh man, 6 minutes and 40 on the clock. I'm getting low on time. Queen takes or knight takes? Queen takes feels safer. I don't want to fall for any tactics. Oh, but knight takes looks pretty good with knight f3. Let's just go queen takes. Now I need to protect the back rank. Knight to c7 by Bob. Get that king to safety. All right, this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be really difficult to figure out. I have this idea. Or do I bring the king up? Actually, let's bring the king up. Because if the rooks come off the board, having that king active will be really important. All right, Arya is offering the queen trade. I have this idea. Take here with this coming. I might regret that one. Queen to a5. Hitting this bishop. Looks like a safe square. Safe and active. Knight back to f3. Triple defending, but now this was my idea. I have that pin. So I can take. That knight could head here. That's what I missed originally. Yeah, I missed that. So what I'm going to do is try to get my king over to that side of the board to help. I want the king coming this way. Ronaldo, I don't know about the rating climb series. I think I have to work with chess.com to do that because aren't those rated games? Like they have to refund all the rating points. I'm open to doing that though. I have played some games in open tournaments so that I'll get lower rated opponents and done some commentary on those, but I haven't tried a rating climb yet. Yeah, that's a good move. Rook c7. Try to keep that king active. Rook c8 by Bob. I keep looking at this move over and over. I don't think I can make it work. This is tempting too. Maybe I need to get the rook behind it. It does open up the dark bishop though. Oh, forced queen trade. Okay. Pushing the pawn up. So I think I can take. King up by RCT fan. Yeah, how do I play this? Let me try to make this rook uncomfortable because I want my rook back on the 7th rank. Okay, I think I am gaining this pawn on e5. My bishop guards e4. There's a lot of tactics on the board though. I have to be careful. Rating climb with Caro would be fun. Yeah. Classic 1600 lichess calculation level. I mean, yeah. I feel like there's a lichess rating joke there to be made, but if I have to take, I think taking there probably. Okay, I do like my king position coming over to f6 there. Knight c5, yeah, good move, good move. One thing I do really love is a good queen sack. I could almost play queen takes rook here and then take the knight. Feels way too risky. Really no need for that. This move feels pretty good. Just kind of trading some things off. Okay, still +1 here against Birdsell. Do I try to take this into an endgame? Alright, I have an option now. Knight or bishop? I think I want to take here because I'm on the long diagonal. There is bishop back to d3, but I could take this pawn, I think. Knight to a4 by Bob. Alright, I'm going for the endgame here. Because I see this bishop on h8 is trapped. I kind of want to just trade everything off and play for the queen side. But the question is, do I go rook c1 or do I trade? I think rook c1. Bob and I just had a VIP class where we talked about not trading too early, so I'm not going to take that right away. Rook e1 by Matteo. Okay, let me bring this knight back to safety. I do have to watch this pawn. I guess I always have rook here. That should be okay. Alright, rook to b7 by RCT fan. It's kind of what I was hoping for, but it's not easy to make progress still. I'd like to get these pawns on light squares. Alright, I have an idea. This bishop card's here, so I'm okay with this. I'm going to try to get this and this. Ronaldo fan is from Bangladesh. Welcome. C3. Yep. Makes sense. Okay, bishop c5 or bishop d6? Let's do d6. Okay, down to 5 minutes. Barnell, bishop b7. Can I take advantage of that? Not easily. It's now attacked 3 times. See if I can make a tactic work there. All right, 4.5 minutes. Knight e4 hits the rook. Eyeing pawn on e7. All right, d6. With this idea, I guess. Let's get some activity. Everyone's trying to back rank mate me. Everyone's trying to back rank mate. Okay, I'd still like to try to pick up this pawn if I can. Need to bring the king out. Bob is capturing me. So I'm going to try to double their rooks. I don't think this is turning out as well as I had hoped. So this is being attacked. Where do I want to put that? But the knight is pinned. Yeah, let's try this. Rook check. All right. Going after those pawns. Knight back. Let me offer this trade, and then I want g6. Queen here. It is lined up with this knight. So I want this pin, but I think I need to remove that capture first. Here, knight retreats and then pin. So this is +3, huh? Knight takes knight, rook takes. I'm going to repeat once. And double. This is getting tough. I'm feeling the pressure now. Heart rate check. Okay, it says 68. I'm just taking this watch off. This is too much of a distraction. Just so you guys can see. For some reason, I don't think it's working. King G2. Okay, King G2. Oh, I think there's this pin though. I think I can play here. Oh, but take. I guess this bishop gets hit in the end, huh? Okay, bishop out to a6. It's that knight. This passed pawn could become very dangerous. Maybe I should just push him. Let's try it. Don't have a lot of time. Queen here. Okay, this is tempting, but I feel like Wiersbe always has some trap for me. He's going to take with the rook and then go queen g6 check. That's what he's going to do. He's eyeing this pawn as well. How do I want to counter this? Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, you guys are right. 50 cents say more than an hour in. Everyone's still playing. Great job, guys. Argus saying, keeping my time situation under control. I think you are right. Can I make something happen here? Oh, there is rook e6. b4. Hmm. Three minutes. I'm going for a tactic in that game. Oh, good move, good move. Rook check is a problem. Okay, this looks crazy, but it might work. I'm going for it. Really trying to pressure that C file. This is risky. What I'm trying to do is I'm going all in on this idea of creating that passed pawn. I don't know if it's going to work. Thanks, Mateo. Good game. Arga's saying make him checkmate. Arga, that's not very nice. Man, I really wanted this tactic, but he's taken back with check. Yeah, that passed pawn became a bit of a problem. Oh no, 50 Cent. I was hitting your queen. I was attacking your queen. All right. So now I'm going for trades. That's a good fork. That's a good fork. I didn't see that fork. Okay, bird cell, I feel really bad. I set up this trap for you, bird cell. F6 was just trying to get that to work. Because I wasn't feeling very confident winning that endgame. Okay, this is plus 3. Up one knight. Here, here, here. try it. Queen check. It's working. Keep trash talking. Okay, Arga. This one is tough. I'm not really sure how I want to play this. My pieces are kind of in tough spots. Okay, we're trying to bringing the worst piece back into the game. RCT fans still fighting strong here, getting that king back into position. I don't know if my passed pawn will be enough. Play very crafty in that game. Yeah, rook e2. I saw it kind of right after I moved it. Rook e2. I think this is okay. Okay, Bob plays a3. I'd really like to ignore that if I can. And play bishop here. Queen takes b7. Birdsell, I still feel a little bit bad about that tactic. Okay, Arga, I did not see this coming. I did not see the fork, but I do have this move. And your knight looks trapped. I think I can go round up the knight still. Yeah, this is a really tough position. One knight up, but I don't know what's going to happen there. Hopefully I didn't create a problem for myself here. queen trade offer, huh? Take, knight here. Take, rook here. Let's try that. Okay, I think I'm getting checkmate in these two games. Good game, Birdcell. That was a tough fight. King e6 by Barn Owl. A little under 4 minutes on the clock. I'm not sure what to do there. Alright, I'm going to try to keep an outside passer in that game. Oh, wow. I'm surprised by this. Okay, RCT fan, this is going to be tricky. Bishop against pawn, and it's a race to see if you can create a passed pawn. So I know I have to get my king back. That one's close to a checkmate, but I still have to figure out how to finish the position. Oh wow, this is crazy. There's a sacrifice idea. Queen takes, rook takes. Wow, Bob, very resourceful. I think I need to box that queen out, if I can. So I do have knight e5 here. I've been waiting for knight e5. bishop d5 in reply. I think I have to go for that. Let me try to go kind of solid there for a while. I'm actually wondering if I should go this way, because I need to cut off this square and my bishop can cut off this square. I think this is worth a try. Queen trade offer. I don't really want that queen trade. Not sure what to do here. I really don't want that queen trade. Queen takes d6 though, runs into its own issues. Let's go for this. Okay, Bob still wants that sacrifice. All right, 50 cent. I think it's made in one. keep the queens on there. Let's keep the queens on. $0.50 saying he'll play it out. All right, that's fine. Oh, I think I got lucky here. But I don't know how easy this will be to convert. Maybe that was the plan. Maybe that was Barnow's plan all along. I think this should be okay. Good game, 50 cent. This reminds me a little bit of a game against Presta J, which I lost. Man, I kind of want to just take that knight off, but I think it makes more sense. Oh, there's still a fork. Man, there's forks everywhere. I'm just taking. I can't deal with that guy. Okay, I do have some play there against Wiersba. Some play on the diagonal. Barn Owl is looking for an endgame lesson, it sounds like. Okay, could probably do that. Could probably arrange that. Alright, I don't like my king placement anymore. I changed my mind. He's coming back. Barnow does have 19 minutes on the clock. This is not going to be easy. I just need to avoid a drawn endgame. So we have 5 games going. 3-0 so far. A couple of really tough games still. I'm going to ignore that for now. Try to get my passer. I really didn't think you could get away with this, Wiersbe. Maybe I'm missing something. Okay, F5 by Sideshow Bob. Trying to get out of this. Don't want to open up your bishop. Let's kind of try to keep pushing that passed pawn. Birdsell is looking for a win or a draw. All right. All right, Birdsell. Still going for my passed pawn there. All right, Bob's pushing the C pawn. I think I got to keep going with this guy. That's the dangerous pawn, getting the A pawn up the board. That's going to be the pawn that causes problems. Okay, Wiersbe is sacking. Makes sense. Really makes sense. But he's also down to 5 minutes, so we're pretty even on the clock here. All right, Arga, I'm going for this passed pawn. Trying to centralize my king there. Okay, how do I play this? Push can take. I'm going to try to go slowly by bringing the king up next. So now Arga has to run over and get to that G pawn, and my king is running to the queen side. That's the strategy. Arga, you were right though. I missed the fork. I completely missed the fork. And then I was somehow saved by that idea of trapping the knight. And RCT fans. In Sideshow Bob, I'm going to try to bring my king in to help. I'm okay with a rook trade here, if offered. Now I'm going to try to get that rook to b7, pawn up to a7. Keep inching that pawn up the board. So I think the Sideshow Bob game, I'm feeling pretty confident. Okay, so now Argasan is going back for this pawn. Let's separate these first. Oh, sorry if there's buffering. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video. Hopefully it's fixed now, though. There was like a short little delay, but hopefully that's fixed. So now I'm going to try to make the c-pawn a queen. How does the stream look, everyone? I'm getting like a YouTube error message, that's why I ask. Good game, Arga. Thanks for playing. George said a little delay earlier. Yeah, every so often, if I have all this stuff running, my computer will freeze for like 3 seconds. And I noticed it did that not too long ago, and then I saw this error message from YouTube. Pawn to f4. Okay, this is sort of my chance, I think, to make something happen. I'm considering h4. I think that would be okay. Or bishop takes pawn. My king is in really good position. So I feel like bishop takes pawn works. Take, take, king takes, king f6, h4, king back, king here. I should be able to win that pawn. Take, take, king takes, push, I should be able to win it. Yeah, I think I'm winning that pawn in the end. Oh, queen to b1 by Wiersbe. Queen to b1. Queen to b1. Yeah, I see the idea. I don't really want to allow that. Let's get this king out of the way. So he wants his rook behind the b pawn with the plan of playing b4. Let's get this king out of the way, because I think that I want my king up here anyways. And try to force Wiersbe to trade queens. I want him to take. Alright, king back by Bob. So I've been looking at this takes check winning the bishop, but I like kind of having this position of control and not allowing that bishop in the game at all. So let's start with this and then try to get that pawn up. Okay, so I think I'm outflanking here. King went over. I could go around. Wiersbe does go for this queen trade. So my idea here is to try to create a scenario where my rook can be more active. That's going to be my best bet. So now I'm going to try to maneuver my king over to that h-pawn. Thanks, Birdsell. 5-second delay max. It's good to know. Here I can fork the king and bishop. Okay, that was a really long think by Barnell. I feel like she might have just solved this position. How can I make progress with my king? I should probably start by coming up to the 4th rank. b3 by Wiersbe. Good move. Yeah, rook c4 I guess was the idea. Oh, I have the fork, but I think this is better. I have to kind of watch for stalemates, but the pawn and bishop can still move. This is a tough endgame, so we're even pawns. But there's a passed pawn for Wiersbe on the right side of the board. Oh, Barnell's playing 2 games at once. I forgot about that. Interesting. I didn't think of f4 check. I don't know why. I feel like ignoring that's the way to go. I might regret that though. This one will take a little bit of technique figuring out how to promote the pawn. I think the g pawn, I can probably ignore the h pawn Try to get that g-pawn up the board. Okay, so here, there, take, take. Okay, king here, here, take, take, here. I do like that position. King here, rook back, king up. I'm feeling better about that position. Okay, so here I'm trying to get my king maneuvered up the board. Let's step up to e5. Thanks, RCT fan. Good game. So we're down to 2. Barnal and Wiersbe. Barnal feels like she's in Zugzwang. Yeah, it's getting tough. There's not a lot of king moves. Yeah, what I was trying to do, Barnal, is I was trying to get you to push a pawn, because then I can start to look for ways to get in, or knight sacrifice for the pawns. Good game, Bob. That was a really good game. After h5, g5, and then I'm going to try to get my king in next, because now I get these pawns separated. That was sort of my goal. And this pawn now can't be defended, so I should be able to reroute this knight. I'm going to bring him around to capture the h-pawn. Okay, Wiersbe brought the rook back to c3. So what I'm not sure about here is if I should play this right away. Or do I bring the king up? Getting the king up feels important, but there is this, and then this. So it's not so easy. But if this takes, king here, rook back, king up, king up. I do have some ideas in that position. Let's go for this. So the stream's been going 2 hours and 12 minutes. He takes immediately. He was ready. really like this rook position. Sitting on b4, guarding b3. That's a very tough endgame. How do I want to play this? I'm going to try to go after this pawn. So I need to plant my king here, push, and then take. I need to deflect this king. Oh, good game, Barnell. Very nice game. There's a ton of tactics there. I'll be interested to look at that later. Okay, it's all on Wiersbe. So far, 7 wins, no losses, no draws. It's all on Wiersbe. And I don't know what the evaluation here. I feel like this should be a draw. But I do have to be careful because there is passed H pawn and the potential passed A pawn. Oh, RCT fan, that's interesting. After trading rooks, moving the king to the center was actually one of the worst moves. Yeah, I need to look at that game too. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking in this position. I'm down to 1 game, 7 minutes. I need to focus. Because last time I kind of lost focus at the end. Just brain felt fried. This is the plan. King here, pawn check, win this pawn. So how does white prevent that plan? Any rook move, I'm taking this with check. If a king move is played, I'm still stepping up. My pawn defends this. So I keep coming back to rook check, but still king here. And if rook this way, I want to start with taking this pawn with check. If king here, I could probably check again and take this pawn. I mean, I don't think I can lose that position. It's close to a win. So the king just played here. If I take this pawn, I get mated. Rook h6. I have rook f3 check, forcing the king down to e5. I do have the connected passers running. I'll probably lose the b pawn. I mean, that seems pretty good though. Because I can park my rook behind this a pawn. My king will take this and probably get in front of my g and f pawns. So then it's like a scenario where king leads the g and f pawns with the help of my rook. if needed, kind of checking the white king away. And my rook is behind the A pawn, which is really valuable. Because the rook behind the pawn gives me a lot of flexibility with checks and useful moves to cut off the white king. So I'm feeling good there. But I do think that's the critical line. Because otherwise, what does white do against this plan? It's coming pretty quickly. Maybe get the king off of that third rank. King up. There's still no way to attack this pawn, which is nice. The rook can't get there. Yeah, so if this rook is going to move and it's not check, I think he should start with moving his king. Let's look at this again. Check. Do we fully commit to this plan? I think we have to. I think that's the only way to play for a win. Rook here. That's a free pawn. Oh, I think I could also win this by checking again. He takes, I take this pawn, and if he takes this pawn, in the end I take here, and I have king and pawn marching up the board, and my rook cuts off the white king. So I should be able to create a Lucina position there. Maybe white needs to get creative. Oh, but that still falls with check. That's sacrificing all the pawns. I don't think that could be good unless he can create a Philidor position in the end. It's possible. Okay, so I can't take there. That'll be a loss. Take. He's just gonna sack that pawn. There's a fast pawn over here. So I have to take this. Only move. Alright, so this is kind of like what we were looking at, but the white rook hasn't committed to trying to win the B pawn yet. So candidate moves here are rook f3 check, which is by far my top move right now. Pawn to b5. Rook check though, and then this pawn drops. I don't think that could be good. It's interesting though. Here, check. Here. I don't know why I need to go for that. Rook here, check, king here. I mean, this pawn is coming really fast, and I have my king coming this way. This pawn hasn't been attacked yet. The fact that I have two pawns, the rook can't easily sack for one. Yeah, that feels too strong not to be the answer. Check, here, here. Rook here. Take, take. King here. He wants the rook behind the pawn, but he can't easily do it. Check here. Check. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. Check here. Check. If king back, check. Take, take, take. King here. Okay, everything is based on this check. Yeah. I think I want to check on e3 next. Thanks, Arga. Yeah, it's really been a good set of games. No easy games today. I think I want this check. King goes here. I mean, maybe I push. Yeah, I don't know if white has much time to win that pawn. Check here. Push. Check here. If takes, push. If rook comes to this square, my rook blocks. And there's no rook coming to this square because my king guards. Check here, I have that check. Check here, push. I mean, that... Once the pawn gets here, white's in trouble. So I think he has to actually take time to play there. But now my pawns are connected. This king's in an awkward spot. Does he go after this pawn, which can be defended by my rook? And two pawns against that rook are going to be very strong. I think this has to be good. This looks the most precise. I don't think I want to go for this so quickly. I really want to get this pawn up the board as fast as I can. So let's look at this again. I don't think the 6th rank makes sense because there's no rook check available. So it should probably be king over. Pawn up. Check here. Oh, I was thinking I had rook back here. My rook is on the e file now. Miscalculated that. So here, check. Here, whoops. Here, take. Here, rook back. Here, mean, again, that's a rook trying to stop 2 pawns here. King could take at that point. My rook can always get back. Yeah, that's looking really good. I think I just go for this. Check here. Here. Push. Check here. Or maybe he goes king here. Here. Back. Oh, but the pawns are getting connected. Okay, I'm very surprised by this move. He's not checking me first, but he's eyeing this pawn. I mean, my rook can get behind this pawn. So here, is he trying to throw in a check here? No, I don't think so. Here, here. I mean, this looks good. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't see it. So I'm going for this. Trust in the calculation. Rook takes, king here. Rook back. He's a good runner, I bet. Where's Buzz in the chat? Yeah, the problem for white is these pawns are going to be connected, and the rook can't stop both. The rook can only sacrifice for one, and my rook is going to cut off this king. My rook can also sack for this pawn at the end. So here's an example. Push, 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 push. The last second I could put my rook behind. Or I could push again. Push here. I think I can drop the rook down, keeping this king cut off. And if rook here, push this, that pawn's still coming. Yeah, I feel like these pawns are coming too quickly. So my rook is kind of boxing this white king out. It's keeping the king in this quadrant on the board so that I can use these 2 pawns against the rook. That's the strategy. Okay, he's pushing that A pawn quickly. I'll continue my plan. Because now I'm okay with putting the rook here. I'm boxing the king off along the 3rd rank, while this pawn is still coming up to the 2nd. So if king here, now I'm okay with rook a3, because king e4, I'm going to push. There's still no checks for white. I could go after this pawn. Or push push. Queen. I do have that situation where if this queens, I could check on the diagonal. So a push, queen. I like this queen because it guards this square, so there's no rook here trick. Okay, queen, take, queen, queen, check, picks up the queen, queen, there's no trickery, because I take with check, queen, queen right away, still do the check, picking up this queen. And I don't think there's any stalemate tricks. Thanks, Arga. Yeah, this was a really interesting endgame. Because I know in the opening I was probably busted. I had this hole on d6, Wiersbe took advantage of it, and I really had to fight hard to get some counterplay with my queen kind of on the long diagonal, with the knight coming to f3 with check. But then even after that, I thought the endgame should be equal, and maybe even an advantage for Wiersbe, because he had the 2 versus 1 queen side. But the problem was my rook got active. My rook was able to park on b4, kind of stopping both of his pawns at the same time. If there was a way to prevent that, maybe we could have, maybe Wiersbe would have had the advantage after the queen trade. So right here, Wiersbe's +1, and I don't have the knight on f3 yet. All right, Wiersbe resigns. Good game. Thanks everyone for playing. If you're still watching and you haven't clicked the like button, please click the like button. And please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.